Are we live? We're doing a Q&A from the office. So we'll wait for some questions. Dave, how long did it take you to get used to doing stuff in person?
I suppose it was fairly quick just because sort of had to, and also I wasn't like on the show, not in person.
Yeah, that's true. It's weird for me. Like I can't get used to it. Is that what our screen actually looks like?
Yeah, I think we're glitching out right now. Oh, I think we're back.
What does the chat say?
Oh, never mind, we're not back. I'm gonna X out. Does that do anything? All right, I figured out what it was. I cannot be on the Talkin Giants account the same time that we're streaming, for whatever reason on YouTube. Yep.
Check it from a different account.
I'm gonna do it from a different account. Hi, everyone.
What was going on with my computer?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live stream.
It's live.
Welcome to New Jersey, Bobby.
Why don't you host? Because I'm not.
Yeah, that was very awkward to start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bronx. I keep on saying New Jersey, but we're technically in New York. We're coming to you from the Bronx, JOMBOY Media Studios, JOMBOY Media HQ in the Bronx. Bobby Skinner is coming up. He's here from Florida. Bobby Skinner, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I have a feeling you're feeling very awkward. We just did some PPPs. It was like the first time that we ever did anything in person.
I think it's the first time I've done any recording in person.
Why don't you move closer to the microphone? Act like you've been here before.
It's the first time.
Act like you've been here before.
I'm not used to any of it. And PPPs aren't very conversational in general. But it was definitely weird, but I'm getting better at it.
Well, I mean,
I think the listeners being in here with us, if I could see the chat, will make it easier. So ask questions. And we'll do the. I'm going to tweet the link out.
Yeah, tweet the link out.
You're hosting this.
I'm hosting.
I kind of wish Danny King was here. Danny's like my safety blanket.
Danny is a safety blanket. He's a guy that we can bounce things off of.
If he's available, I could pull him in.
Whoa, could pull him in. How's the screen look for everybody? Does everything look good? I think we may be glitching out a little bit on the YouTube.
Channel.
I'm not on the. I'm on that.
I don't know.
So
how are we supposed to see the
On
chat?
my end, everything looks...
on your end, everything looks good.
Right.
You got it. All right. Yeah, so Bobby Skinner's up from Florida. We're going to FanFest tomorrow. Parking Lot G, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Parking Lot G. This is distracting me. I'm going to exit out. Yeah, so we did some PPPs. We did 2 days worth of PPPs. I've done some stuff in person before. I did a Bleeding Blue with Snacks. I did 2 episodes of Bleeding Blue with Snacks. One last summer, and then one was on February that I did. And it was natural with him. So I don't know what went wrong, Bobby. Maybe
Look, Dave's I can see Dave in the corner now. I have a chat on my phone.
There you go.
All right, ask you some Giants questions. Start some conversation. Today at practice, Nate Solder left, which with Nate Solder, who would be our first tackle off the bench? Chad Slade, which would be pretty brutal. And we have no guard depth now. Who are they going to play in the So we'll
if
talk
Nate
more
Solder's
about the preseason
out,
on Friday.
who was the second tackle?
But I'm saying will the starters play? Like I feel like there's not enough depth to not have the starters ready to go, at least for a quarter.
I don't even
Especially
know
the starting O-line, because this is so young. You know, it's not like you're resting Sterling Shepard, Saquon, Kenny Golladay. Like the starting O-line, I feel like they need as many live reps as possible.
I don't think they're not even going to go for a quarter. I mean, they're treating this game. I mean, the O-line may be a different conversation. They may play the O-line more because they look like garbage. That's also a theory, is that they've looked really bad at camp. Now, you can flirt it either way. The offense has looked really bad no matter what. Hey, we're taking a picture. Offense has looked really bad no matter what. So, yeah, we have a really good defense, but no matter what, the interior defensive line, they're not the 85 Bears. So the interior defensive line isn't, like, elite. So the fact that the line has looked kind of this bad to start, maybe they do play longer. But I don't know. I would still say the O-line and the entire team, they're basically going to treat this game like the 4th preseason game in a typical 4th preseason.
Yeah, I don't think the starters are going to play at all.
No.
But it's a weird situation where Nate Solder isn't a starter, but he's a 10-year vet. So it's like, do you need to see him in preseason? Like, could the tackles that we see the majority of the game be Chad Slade?
But who else is the other?
Jackson Barton.
Jackson Barton.
Like, or even does Kenny Wiggins play?
Who's the undrafted free agent that we got out of Baylor? He was a tackle.
Jake Burton. Does Kenny Wiggins play? Like he's the starting left
Kenny
guard while
Wiggins-
Shane Lemieux's out, but he's the backup.
I'm rooting for Kenny Wiggins to play because we haven't seen him. We don't know who Kenny Wiggins is.
Yeah,
we don't know what he's about.
Yeah, I mean he's got like 40 starts, so I guess we could go watch that.
Stupid old 22.
Let's see. Seems like Board is having a good camp, and Ebner will return. So would you rather have Board, no Ebner? And
I'd rather have just no Ebner.
Yeah, I don't know how Ebner. I mean, he's not here, so it's hard to even have an opinion on him until he's here. But I guess they're saying that he will be back. Simon Z, super chat, thank you. What up, Bobby and Justin?
Hi,
Big fan
Simon.
of the day streams.
Thank you.
Yeah, we try not to stream too much, but since I'm here in New York, we do it. David Sills or Dante Pettis? Dante Pettis had like 2 touchdowns today. Had like his best day. He was missing practice, so it's like hard to like shit on a guy
But
because he's
Sills
missing
has just
practice.
looked so much better. Sills has been exciting.
But Sills like has like 0 first team reps,
Right.
where Dante Pettis like they brought him back from injury and he immediately had first team reps.
Yeah. So, Sills, I can imagine Sills is going to be the guy that, you know what? Sills is going to get a lot of playing time. I think he has.
He's going to be, but I could see him getting a lot of playing time, being the preseason darling that everyone's like, this guy makes a roster, and them still not making it somehow.
Yeah. No, that's very accurate.
So,
but I can also see him being a guy like if he balls out during preseason, and he's one of those guys that plays quarters 2, 3, and 4 because the Giants really want to see what he's about. Then he gets picked up by another team. I can also see that happen.
I mean, that's what happened with him originally. Like he played well for Buffalo in the preseason.
Boom.
They cut him playing. They bring him on the practice squad, and the Giants claimed him. So I like, maybe they keep him on the roster for 2 days and then cut him. They do that sometimes. I don't know, but it's like you got to like, you talk about like not wanting to play guys too much in the preseason to hide them, but they have to play at some point.
Right.
It's like you're not just going to hide David Sills and Dante Pettis on the bench.
No, and I have that
John
take.
Ross may not play. Kenny Galladay's not going to play. Shepard and Slayton, we know what they are. So it's like Sills is going to have to play a lot in the preseason.
And I have that take on the podcast, and if you don't listen, you should listen. But I have that take with some PPPs on the podcast where I was listening to Sirius XM NFL radio, and there was, I guess, this former exec or somebody who worked in the building of some sorts with an NFL team. He was like, don't always, like the guy that plays quarters 2, 3, and 4 in the preseason, or vice versa, a guy that doesn't go out and doesn't play, that doesn't mean that guy is in jeopardy of not making the team. It very much just could be a coaching staff is choosing not to show somebody because if they want to cut him, then they want to stash him on the practice squad. And that really, I'm not saying that, everybody that doesn't play, the coaching staff loves. It's just something to keep in mind where we're watching preseason. And again, this is why it sucks that we're not in camp and they're not allowing fans in camp.
Sills was a gunner at West Virginia, too, so he has like the most special team experience, too.
But it sucks that we're not there in camp because at least, even if they let us there for a week, like we would be able to just give the takes of, hey, I've seen this with my eyes for a week of Giants practice, and I see that this guy is good, and then therefore it can reflect like what he does in preseason and how the coaches use him and whatnot. But we're not there, so it really does suck.
Danny's in the chat. It says, why is Danny the best looking member of Talkin' Giants?
Danny King is the best. Danny King is low key a good looking man. He is the best looking.
Julian Bright, who's our guy. The boys are live in person.
Hey, Julian.
Is John Ross injured? Like he was
hamstring.
Was bothering him. But he practiced on the side, so I feel all right about him.
And hamstrings are tricky. Another guy that I hope to see play. I would like to see him play if he drops balls. I don't want to see a John Ross drop.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about Evan Ingram's drops. John Ross drops are like, it makes Evan Ingram look like Kyle Rudolph. Like, and it wasn't just drops. It'd be like, here's a 40-yard touchdown. He's going to walk it in, drop. Here's a 30-yard big play, drop. So if he can catch even half of those, that's like more big plays than the Giants had as a whole. Sam Beal, they put him in front of the podium, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
What if he could make the roster?
Why not? Really, do we no? Here's a funny question about cornerback depth. I consider slot corner to be like its own position. I don't consider like Aaron Robinson and Darnay Holmes to be part of
not even practicing.
But I don't even consider like those guys to be listed as cornerbacks. They're slot corners. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
but
when-
I think they'd rather have Darnay Holmes playing outside corner than Sam Beal. Like
Yeah.
Corey Ballantyne, I know it's a different coaching staff, but Ballantyne was an outside corner who they were tired of Grant Haley, so they put him at slot corner.
Yeah.
Matthew says, "We know you are Wes Steinberg, Bobby," which I got a lot of accusations of that. Entertainer knows him, like he's in Entertainer's Discord channel.
Oh.
He's from the UK.
Oh.
So I just basically doxed
Yeah.
a
Way to
lot
keep
of him.
want to dox him even more.
He needs to change his name to start fooling people again, because everyone knows who Wes
No,
Steinberg
because
is.
no,
now.
we're still at the point where people are going to fall for him.
But
now.
no one's falling for it anymore. He
No,
did some Jet stuff, and it got a little.
No,
bit
we need something big to happen. It's nothing big has happened the last couple of days. He followed me today, but I was pretty honored.
Yeah, I mean he's the #1 insider.
He is number one. He has all the resources.
Can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
Would you trade Evan Ingram if he is not signing here next year? The Derpy ones asks.
The derpy ones.
I would trade him today still.
You would trade him today.
Well, actually, Kyle
Rudolph. It's like what's going
If
on?
Kyle
with him?
Rudolph comes back to practice, like, oh, he's full go, he's
Yep.
ready to go tomorrow, I would. If they don't plan on signing him, you might as well get something and just you roll with Kyle Rudolph and Caden Smith.
I'd still. I mean, the Giants. We're not looking at this year. Granted, we're not looking at this year looking to win a Super Bowl, but the Giants this year are also not looking at this year as, all right, how can we just get to next year to accumulate draft picks and whatnot? Giants already have 10 draft picks, and 5 of them are within the first 3 rounds next year. So really, if Evan Ingram can be a guy that, God willing, he's not going to be the worst target in the National Football League like he was last year, then he's not going to hurt the team. You would like him to help in
I
a
wonder
way.
what John Ross's QB rating was when targeted.
That's something we can look up. We can look it up right now.
Because I feel like, I mean, it's a lesser sample size. He didn't play in 2020, but like 2019 where he had like the 7 touchdowns on 21 catches. Like, I wonder what his QB rating.
Evan Ingram's QB rating when targeted was 55.4, but the problem is, I mean, that's like really bad, and that's like one of the league's worst. It's because when you force those interceptions, that's why it goes down. When John Ross, if you're just dropping the ball and you're forcing incompletions, that's not going to bring the QB rating down so far. So here, I have it right now. I can do it since 2018 because that's what Pro Football Reference does. John Ross, 2017.
Do you think we're going to see a ton of Kadarius Toney in the preseason game?
No.
Why not?
No, because he's been barely practicing, and they're just bringing him up
But
to speed.
he's been practicing pretty good.
The pace at which they're like he
Like, he's back with the team fully practicing right now.
but they're still bringing him on. Oh, funny. Well, John Ross only had 7 targets last year. He had a 39.6 QB rating last year. 2019 on 56 targets, 28 catches, 500 yards. He had an 84.4 QB rating, and then 2018, 21 receptions, 58 targets, 51 QB rating. So
He had 7 touchdowns on 21 catches,
Yeah.
which is the greatest ratio of all time. But why wouldn't Kadarius Toney play? Like, he's back fully practicing. You don't want to get. They're not. Sterling Shepard's not going to get any reps. The starting 3 wide receivers aren't going to get any reps. Why not let Kadarius Toney go out there and play the entire first half?
No, I mean they still have.
Like he had he had COVID. It wasn't like he's dealing with like an ankle injury.
I mean, they still have Bachman. I mean, there are so many wide receivers on this team where we're not even talking about them, but. You know, there's so many wide receivers on this team who, granted, like I said, they're going to treat this game as the 4th preseason game. Would you see Kadarius Toney out there for the 4th preseason game in a typical preseason? Like, that's the approach, and that's
maybe
the approach
not. But it's not the 4th preseason.
I know,
game,
but that's
though.
the way they're treating it.
But as in the backups are playing, like, and Kadarius Toney is a backup.
Yeah.
Alex Bachman, you mentioned, might be the like David Sills has a chance to make the roster. I can see Alex Bachman being the guy that. Like, has an amazing preseason, does everything right. Even people are talking about like his run blocking, and he just has 0 chance to make the roster.
Yeah. You want to know who I'm most excited to see? Just skill position wise, maybe not offensive line, et cetera, et cetera. The guy that we haven't been talking enough about, but it's getting some traction this week on the beat. It's Corey Clement. He's going to get some action.
Yeah, he's the third running back.
Well, he's been taking RB1 reps.
Yeah, but
over Booker.
as the backup, but Booker's getting the most reps. He's running with the first team.
I don't know.
It's like Alfred Morris wasn't RB1, but he got reps.
Clement's more of a diverse running back where he can do more. Booker's, I think, you can say he's a better running back.
Yeah, but he's not RB. Like, Clement is going to get first string reps, but he's not RB1. Like,
Well, Yes, Saquon Barkley's RB1.
But no, I'm saying if Saquon's not there, Devontae Booker will be RB1.
I don't know. We'll see week 1.
I would be blown away.
We'll see.
Al Bats, he thank you for the super chat. He says, "Do you two now think only 3 tight ends with Levine going down? Who would the 4th be? Like if they brought someone in who would like had some type of name, like even like an Eric Tomlinson type, I'd say they're going with 4. But they're like it'd be Cole Hikatuni or whoever.
Yeah.
Like
He's been everywhere.
It's nobody's. Like I saw, but that's with Kyle Rudolph not playing, Caden Smith. I don't think he got a ton of reps. So I do think with Levine Toilolo here, I think it was 4 tight ends no matter what. But if Kyle Rudolph is healthy to start the season, I don't see them keeping 4 tight ends.
No, there's too much depth other places.
Snacks is in the chat. Is he coming to the Mets game?
Are we even going to the Mets game?
Yeah, the tickets are like $4.
I got to edit that PPP.
You didn't?
No.
Well, we're going to the Mets game.
Okay, we're going to the Mets game. Going to the Mets game. Go to the Mets game if you're in the area.
Yeah, it's my first pro baseball game. I've been to a spring training game. I've never been to a regular season game.
Yeah. That's fun. That's exciting.
Let's see. What questions do we got? Whose love is greater, Bobby's love for Trailer Park Boys or Justin's love for Shania?
That's a good question.
I would say you for Shania. 'Cause you're like weird about it. I just really like that.
I've went to Las Vegas twice in my life to see this woman perform. I went to Las Vegas twice in my life to see her, and then I went home. I didn't go to Vegas for any other reason.
Yeah, I don't even watch all of the live events that TVB does.
Went to Philly to see her for her Now tour, and I hope she tours again. She's going to make a new album. She's my favorite person in the entire world, Shania Twain. Favorite person in the entire world. See, I start talking about personal things, and Bobby Skinner just...
I'm reading the chat.
Oh, you're reading the chat? All right.
And even, the Giants guys, no love is greater than Justin's for Shania.
It's true.
Someone said never been to a baseball game, ? Like I was lying. I'm telling the truth.
Why don't you put your mouth... I think that these microphones are very particular on how close you are to them.
Yeah, you want to be about a hand's distance away.
So, hands.
Go like this when I'm using the microphone?
Oh, yeah. Sure. There you go.
All right, so we got 107 people in here. So we're going to...
hey. Thanks for joining.
We started at 4:45, so we'll go to around 5:30.
We don't do this often.
Or when the Yankees lineup comes out.
Oh, yeah.
We have to abandon the studio when the Yankees lineup comes out.
I'm going to put on my cowboy hat now.
Sure.
That's that time of the stream, folks.
When was the last professional baseball game you've been? Have you ever been to a Mets game?
I have been to I like going to
Have you been to
both.
Shea Stadium?
I've never been to Shea Stadium. I've been to City Field.
Or City Field, yeah.
I've been to City Field.
I'm thinking Shea Stadium because our new Mets.
City Field, I'm a Yanks fan, but City Field is a much better baseball stadium than Yankee Stadium. And I'm sorry for that take, but it's true. Better food, better experience, I feel.
Yankee Stadium or the City Field?
City Field. City Field. I like
I
my
really
seats.
wanted to go to a Yankee game, but they're just not playing.
I like my seat. I mean, it's a walk from this office, which is kind of neat. My seats at Yankee Stadium I like better, but the experience at City Field is a lot better.
I'm gonna try and get Justin arrested at the game.
Sure.
Tonight.
Absolutely.
I might just accuse you of saying stuff that you didn't say.
Yeah, which YouTube has done that.
I'm gonna really try and get Mr. Matt's attention. So we'll see how that goes. Cletus says awful Shania. I agree.
What? Is this Cletus T. Baggis?
Oh, here's a good question. Out of the starting 5 linemen, which is the biggest question mark? Because I know we have different opinions.
Yes.
Matt Parrott.
Mm-hmm.
It's got. I know Shane Lemieux. Matt Parrott has, and I think it's the question mark is because Matt Parrott can be an awesome right tackle. We can look at this from 2 years from now, and he has the ability to be my God, what a steal. Pick 99. This guy's one of the, he's one of the top right tackles in the NFL. He has that ability. He has, he's got the perfect frame. He's got all the athletic ability, but he could also roll out week 1 and just suck. And he has real issues in his game to where not only he can ruin our offense, where I don't think if Shane Lemieux plays at the same level, definitely doesn't help, but I don't think it ruins our offense. If Matt Parrott is just flat out bad, it can ruin the offense.
Yeah, I mean, right tackle is a more important position than left guard. And you can, you talk about it all the time. You're the O-line guy, and I, get some of my takes from you. You can mask the shortcomings at guard / interior offensive line better than you can mask the shortcomings at tackle because you're on an island. I am just more confident in Matt Parrott than I am in Shane Lemieux, which is odd because we haven't seen Matt Parrott really.
I'm scared of what Matt Parrott's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm very worried about what Matt Parrott's going to be.
It's a very important position. And granted, I think the Giants are now at a point, and I don't blame them, and kind of good for them. They're at a point where I'd rather them buckle up on a draft pick. Now I'm talking right tackle here, not necessarily left guard. I'm comfortable with them buckling up in their draft pick, which a 3rd-round pick, it's not a 5th-round pick, it's not a 6th-round pick, but it's also not a 1st-round pick where, this guy is absolutely 100 expected to be somewhat of a hit. 3rd-round pick is more of a hit or miss, right? But they're putting their investments in their draft picks, which I would rather them do that than go out and overpay for a Nate Solder-like offensive lineman who doesn't deserve such a big contract, but because you have a hole there, then you go out and you overpay because you feel like you need to. They're going in on the guys that they've invested in the draft and the guys that have years of control, because if these guys do hit, you're talking about Shane Lemieux has 3 more years of control left. Matt Parrott is also going to have 3 more years of control left. Andrew Thomas is going to have 4 more years. Nick Gates, you can keep, he has the extension and he's a homegrown guy too. So all these guys that are homegrown, if you hit on them, they can be here for a while, and that's what they're kind of banking on.
Grim Silo says that hat is slightly upsetting, and I agree with him.
Well, Jimmy, JOMBOY.
This is the Giants show, and you're wearing a cowboy hat.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Eagles. I went to school in Philadelphia, so the lines are blurred ultimately in my life, just in terms of my relationship with things that are associated with our rivals. But Jimmy, JOMBOY, friend of the program, said I couldn't pull this off. And then once he told me that, I said, I can pull it off. Like, it's this reverse psychology thing I got going on.
So, and Cletus says Pharrell wants that hat, which I feel like is a dig. Irish Mike says, is Justin in a high chair? No, I just have mine all the way cranked down because I'm tall. So he's in a regular chair. I'm in a short chair.
You have trouble fitting in my Honda SUV. I have a Honda Cross Tour, which is not a small vehicle, and you have trouble fitting in it.
That's like one of the better vehicles I fit in.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Giant Opinion Sports says Matt Parrott will be the best O-lineman on the team. That's what my crystal ball is showing. I don't agree with you. But with Parrott, you have Solder, who is better than Wiggins. That's debatable. I mean, we recorded the Nate Solder episode, which it doesn't come out till next Monday, and I kind of felt bad because we were just talking about how bad he was the entire episode. But it's like, could he be not bad? Like, could he be not horrible? Could he be bad but not like that was the entire.
Yeah,
that was our optimistic spin on Nate Solder.
And him being not horrible.
Maybe he won't be a train wreck. He could just be bad.
Him being not horrible. It's him being on the bench.
Patty Mack.
Hey, Patty Mack. Yeah.
How do you feel about red skin potatoes? I like
me?
them. How do you feel about red skin potatoes?
Not their name anymore.
How come they don't have a team name yet? Like, they had the 1 year. Why aren't they? It bothers me that they don't have a team name again. I'm not calling them Washington Football Team a 2nd year in a row.
I call them Football Club because then it sounds like a soccer team, so it diminishes their value.
Could increase
because I'm mean.
But I'm not calling them the Washington Football Team anymore.
Okay.
Let's see. Cletus says, thank you for shouting them out, of course. Big Vito, how do you guys feel the Dave Gettleman blew an opportunity to pick up draft capital by not trading Ingram, Tomlinson, and Zeitler?
I mean, we have 10 draft picks now and 5 in the first 3 rounds. So.
Zeitler, I don't think there was a trade that was worth it. And I think they were ready to I think Kenny Wiggins was signed because they were ready to trade Zeitler.
Yeah.
Dalvin, there was an offer, and they were 1-7 at the time, and they probably knew they didn't expect him to come back. So that is a fair point. And then Ingram, I don't know. Like, they like Ingram. So it's like they weren't trying to unload it. Like, they could have unloaded Ingram in this offseason. Like, somebody would have traded at least a decent draft pick for Evan Ingram, and they didn't want to. So they want to keep Evan Ingram.
I think there was part of them that maybe knew that Leonard Williams wouldn't be back, and then if Leonard Williams wasn't back, they were going to bring back Dalvin Tomlinson. I'm not now granted, yes, I would be very upset with not trading any of those players if the Giants didn't do what they did draft weekend to acquire more picks. But now it's like, all right, well, maybe they did have that plan. Maybe Trader Dave did have the plan all along, even though, fooled everybody and, thinking that he would never trade back and, he made those jokes and whatnot. Maybe they did have that plan all along where it's like, what's the difference between 10 draft picks and 12 draft picks,
Yeah.
I could also be getting the number of draft picks they have wrong.
We have 10.
We have 10. Good for me.
Kyle Girdwood asked a good question, and I'm going to kick it to Dave. Nicer guy, JOMBOY or Jake? I'm not around them in person ever, so I don't know how to.
Oh, nicer?
Yeah, just nicer. Not better human person, just nicer. Like Justin's nicer than me, but I think I'm better than him.
It's close. I would agree with that assessment of you too, but
Thank you.
I agree.
Gun to my head, Jimmy was my instinct, so I guess that's the answer.
Who's the nicest person in the office? It's not Kyle. It's not.
No.
It could be Luke. Tom
Luke's
seems
up
really
there.
nice.
Katie.
But she's not in the office.
Yeah,
People that are
of the group
today.
here today,
Oh, here
Zach.
today.
Zach.
Zach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark energy, but like the second you crack that.
Right on. Michael Scott. Hey, Bobby and Justin. And that's actually his real name. It's
Yeah.
not a fake Twitter
Big
name.
Bleeding Blue listener. Thank
Hey,
you.
Bobby and Justin. Let me know when you guys are coming out to Penn State. Probably never.
Penn State.
New away uniforms need more blue. I disagree. Supposedly Wes Steinberg has a new tweet. We'll check it out later.
Ooh. Fun.
I hope you guys go to a delicious dinner while you're in New York for me, since I do have to do like
City
one New
Field.
York, because tonight we're going to a Mets game. I'll get something to eat there.
I'm concerned about
Tomorrow
this
we're
week.
at Fan Fest. Thursday night we'll get like some decent New York food.
Yeah, I'm concerned this week that we just aren't going to eat.
I mean, that's not a concern for me. I'm trying
Yeah,
to lose weight.
I could lose a few pounds. That's true. Being on camera, it's made me very self-conscious today.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Oh yeah.
What is
we're on-
what is the schedule this week for you guys?
Tomorrow.
Nobody tells me anything.
Nobody tells me anything either. Like, this is, that is in Florida. It's like, oh, we're doing this. It's like, I have no idea what's going on at JOMBOY Media, but I kind of like it that way because I like to do my own thing. Our schedule is tomorrow we're on JOMBOY and Jake Radio, so check out JOMBOY and Jake Radio. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
That starts at noon, right?
Starts at noon. We'll probably do a draft pretty early, and you'll be drafting with us.
Yep. So I get to pick what the draft is. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I have to narrow it down.
I'm going to do a
at some
ton
points
of
in here.
research for it. And then we're going to Fan Fest like right after, and then so from 3 o'clock to there we'll be there, and then we're going to go to like some bar afterwards.
Yes.
What sucks is they put it on a Wednesday night. I swear the only event they give us is on a Wednesday night. I swear it was like they tried to make it as difficult as possible. And then Thursday, we have to record our regular podcast. We have an interview, which I thought we were going to do in studio, but now that I kind of hate recording in studio, we're not going to do in studio.
Come on.
Well, Thursday studio's very much open.
Yeah, it would be very. Come on, it would be very fun to have who we're thinking come up and talk to them. We're gonna get used to it.
We'll talk about it not on camera.
We're gonna get used to it. I've enjoyed this live stream. This live stream's been very good.
It's been all right. We've been and then Thursday. What do we have to do on Thursday? I think Thursday night we're gonna go out and not do content.
Yes.
But Thursday during the day, I think we'll just treat it like a regular work day. And then we have to record our regular episode. Let's see. Without getting into detail, how many linebackers make the fit? I'm not doing that. When is Rudolph going to be ready? I think when is Rudolph going to be ready? The biggest question now that Saquon's back.
Yes.
Like that's a kind of a big deal, but we
Yes.
haven't really talked about it because Saquon takes precedence over
Yeah.
Kyle Rudolph. Who is a player on the Broncos you're keeping an eye on for Week 1?
Von Miller. No. Drew Lock, for being real. How bad is he? I think he's the worst quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah, but they might start Bridgewater.
No.
I'm going to say Bradley Chubb because that's a nice test for Andrew Thomas. It's not like, TJ, it's not the one. He's not the best one. A top pass rush in the league is a very good. That's a very good Week 1 test for Andrew Thomas.
Here's another one.
Jerry Jeudy could be one too.
Patrick Surtain. He's a rookie corner. We're going to go after him.
I hope so.
I hope
Pat
so, too.
Shurmur.
That's a player to keep an eye on. Just name
Let's
names.
see. Our potato question has started a debate in the chat.
Oh,
Special teams isn't important unless they're bad, and the Giants had some bad special teams moments last year. Think they'll improve? Sure.
I hate talking about special teams. We've talked about it so much.
How much did you rope? Let's see. Are y'all worried about y'all's coach pissing in your player's locker?
Yes.
Is that a Wes Steinberg tweet?
I'm very worried about Joe Judge taking a piss inside.
Yeah, that is a Wes
players.
Steinberg tweet.
There you go.
Are you guys hoping for Mark Schlereth? I think Mark Schlereth is week 1.
I will be at the game, so.
Oh, that's true.
I don't care.
He's the only announcer I don't like.
I get
Mark
my brain.
Schlereth.
My good brain. Never fails me.
Or about this Marty guy. Anyways,
Marty?
yeah.
Guy that leaves their voicemails who would jump off the
No,
bridge?
it's this guy that he's just mass comment. He kind of sucks.
Oh,
I think he's like an Eagles fan trying to talk trash.
All right, sure. Happens.
But I let them stay. As long as you don't spam the chat, you can be as annoying as you want.
Yeah.
If you like leave spam, then I'll ban you from the channel. Who is wide receiver 1 if Galladay misses time this season? I think Sterling Shepard is the best one, but Darius Slayton takes on the role of wide receiver 1.
How do you define wide receiver? What do you
The guy that their best corner is covering.
Okay. I define wide
Darius
receiver
Slayton.
1 as like who almost catches the most balls.
Sterling Shepard will be the best one. Darius Slayton will get cornerback 1 treatment.
Yeah. Or who gets the most targets.
Dan Oma CPSL says he just passed gas.
Nice. Congrats.
Jason Critz calling somebody a sheep in the chat, which I would love to hear more about.
Yeah, apparently there's a debate.
Renato, would you invite Pat Leonard to a live Q&A?
That's a great question.
Him and Matt
Renato.
Lombardo are the only people that are never welcomed on. Diggy, our guy, first in-person Talking Giants. We recorded our mini episodes earlier, but yes, this is the first time. This is the first time people are seeing it live. How about that? Is there any way this defense regresses this year? Injuries are the before Adoree Jackson was signed, it was like, you know what? Like I don't know if could we expect the defense to not be top 10? Yes. But with the addition of Adoree Jackson, now the expectation is to be a better defense.
Yeah, top 5.
Where Adoree really is what swung that. Who are you guys cheering for in a Pat Leonard, Matt Lombardo, Giant Insider triple threat? I'm actually rooting for Giant Insider in that. I like them way more than those other two.
I can't see the other two winning a fight. Any fight.
That's true. Giant Insider would win that.
Don't know what they look like.
Someone said, OMG, this is weird. Amazingly weird. I agree with you, ASC.
Okay. Sure.
Patty Mack, don't apologize for the potato question. John says, Justin, I like the hat, but why? Which I don't like that hat.
I was about to take it off.
But
now
why?
I'm leaving it on. About to take it off. Shouldn't have said anything. Like I said, my boss. Ooh, wow. This is how it feels to have a producer. So Jimmy, JOMBOY, friend of the program, he basically said before that I can't pull it off when I put it on. I can put it on. I can pull it off. So
I look a lot
proving him
more
wrong.
tan than you when we're next to each other.
Yeah, because I'm white as a ghost. I have been compared. Body,
my hair looks a lot less blonde.
Body and shape, I have been compared to Pillsbury Doughboy. John Candy, Pillsbury Doughboy.
That picture was perfect, and it wasn't on purpose either.
And the Michelin Man. Those 3 figures.
Dave, did you see the picture I posted earlier?
Today?
The photo collage?
No, but I am on my way to go look at it.
I put it on the Talkin' Giants Twitter. It's the picture. It's the picture that me and Justin took earlier. And
I think
we're wearing the same exact colors.
It's
down
strange.
to like Steve Martin's tie is red. The logo on my shirt is red.
I did see that.
The me not smiling while the other. It's the and it was completely on like people probably saw that and were like, oh, they did that on purpose, and it is 100% an accident.
That is exactly what I thought was.
No,
it might be our best work.
We're just that good at what we do.
I mean, that really is. I almost want to make that the Talkin' Giants profile picture for like a day.
We can do that.
We used to do that a lot. Change the Talkin' Giants profile.
Yeah.
I'm going to change the Talkin' Giants profile picture for
Do
a
it.
day. Oh, reminds me, I'm going to bring stickers to the Mets game.
Oh, we're gonna put it places.
Yep. All right, I'm going to change it. All right, so we're at 5:20. All right, we'll go 10 minutes more.
Yeah.
I'll check up on the chat after.
There we go. There it is.
Who should I root for in the
Love it.
Mets Nationals game?
Who is pitching? Who is he? What are they? Who
are the pitchers tonight? Is Jacob deGrom pitching maybe?
No, he's hurt.
Carlos Carrasco is pitching for the Mets.
That's exciting.
Paolo Espino pitching for the Nationals. I have both starting lineups in front of me.
Didn't the Nats trade Max Scherzer?
Yeah. And Trey Turner.
So there's
sucks.
nothing
like
exciting
everybody.
except Juan
I'm
Soto.
rooting for the Nationals because they used to play spring training in my city.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to root for the Nationals.
Who's in the lineup for the Mets? I know there's
In fact, every Major League Baseball game I've been to has been the Nationals.
there's nobody I know on the Nationals besides Juan Soto.
Nationals, I'm going to read their lineup, and
Zimmerman
you
still
tell me
there?
how many people you recognize.
Okay.
Victor Robles.
I do. He's a center fielder.
Alcides Escobar.
No.
Juan Soto in
He's
right field.
yes.
Josh Bell at first.
Josh Bell, I know him. Pirates.
Yeah, formerly. Yadiel Hernandez in left. Carter Kieboom at third. Luis Garcia at second. He's not in my book. A lot of Luis Garcias, though. And Riley Adams is the catcher batting.
No, not even. Is Zimmerman still on the team? Or
He is
just on
still
the bench?
there. I don't know if he's hurt or just on the
Pinch
bench.
hitter
Or,
tonight.
and the Mets have Nimmo in center, McNeil at second, Alonso at first, Dom Smith in left, Conforto in right, J.D. Davis at third, Jonathan VR
I
at
know
short,
almost
and James
almost all of
McCann.
them.
That's
I
a
know
fun
almost
lineup.
All of them. Is McCann the catcher, right? No, that's Brian McCann.
Nope,
He
James
is.
McCann.
There were two catcher McCanns. They both were wearing number 34 when McCann was.
That's
when
tough.
Are
the
they
Yankees
related?
had McCann. No, not to my knowledge.
That's tough.
Actually, I should probably I should know that more definitively.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
yeah, Mets signed this McCann.
I know a lot of the
last
Mets
year.
players, so I
This
might.
is this is an exciting Mets. Mets are in like a little bit of a slump right now, right?
Yeah, they've
Danny's a
gone in the
hardcore
last
Mets fan too.
last
so-
week. They went from first place, which they had for about 3 full months. They went from first to third this week.
So this is a big
This
game.
weekend.
This is a big weekend series. So we got to
The-
roll out the good lineup, and I love it.
The Mets very very much need to like sweep the Nats.
Yes.
because they have a. They
I
have a
think I'm
big
just gonna
West
root
Coast
for the
trip
Mets
coming.
and get on our Mets
Yeah.
fans
Don't
good
don't
side.
be that guy. I know you like being that guy. Don't be that guy.
The Mets. They
Brevard County
they need to
Manatees.
survive.
Yes.
Clyde says it. Brevard. We had a minor league team for basically my entire life until like 5 years ago. They took away the team, which really it was really fun going to those games. So Clyde, let me DM me on Twitter if you actually know about the Brevard County Manatees. Let's see. Thank you, ASC. Talking about the shirt. So now, if the Yankees miss the playoffs, would it like before the trade deadline? It almost seemed like they're going to miss the playoffs.
It
Now,
seemed
would
pretty likely they weren't going to make it.
Right now, is it like would it be a devastating if they don't make it now?
Not devastating, but it's like they went from like the most optimistic you could be was 50-50 to now it's like you could like reasonably expect them to sneak in or at least keep it interesting. I'd still call it about 50-50.
Can I be like, I think we can win the World Series? As like, I'm not as into it, but like, is that if you heard someone say that, are you like, okay, he's not
I would
in-
definitely say you're like a fan of the team, but also
You're
it's
Dan
like
Rourke.
they're a team that's good enough on paper. Like they sneak into the playoffs, anything can happen. Baseball.
Yeah, but it's anything can happen. It's not like the beginning of the
shouldn't be
season.
the
The Yankees
favorite.
were
They need to stay
Coming into the
until we
season, the
get there.
Yankees were like kind of the overwhelming AL favorite,
and now. So
now it's
is it the Rays?
probably White Sox or Astros.
That's fun.
Wow, the White Sox.
Rays are starting to run away with the division a bit.
Yeah, I know the Rays will win the division. I don't watch a lot of the games, but I do check the standings pretty often.
Can we talk some?
People are saying that Andrew Cuomo resigned the minute that I showed. I
mean,
I
more or
honestly think
less.
it was the minute we drove into New York. Because
Correlation?
I checked my phone when I got
Causation?
here, and it was like 25 minutes ago Cuomo resigned, and it probably took us 25 minutes from us crossing over into New York, parking, and getting here.
Can we give some FanFest takes?
Like what?
I'm expecting
We got a decent little crowd in here.
full metal. That's probably the wrong phrase. Balls to the wall, padded practice tomorrow, and Joe Judge eviscerating people.
I'm not expecting. I'm expecting it to be like a fan fest.
I want Joe Judge to make
Like
somebody piss
I'm
his
expecting
pants.
them to be in full pads. They'll do some little bit of scrimmage, but like I don't think you're gonna see Joe Judge lose it on anybody.
There's nothing more than I'm rooting more. There's nothing I am rooting for more than to see Joe Judge eviscerate somebody.
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Over under 1.5 times. I'm going the over. Who's the guy that JoJo's
Can we
probably
use
hates?
DraftKings? You can't use DraftKings in New York, right?
I believe soon, but technically you have to be in New Jersey.
Nope.
We should cross over to New Jersey. I'll put $100 on the Mets. I just saw.
You can try if you have the app on your phone.
Talkin' Giants presented by
give it a try.
DraftKings. Which maybe I'll make my first real wager.
There you go.
All right, what time is it? 5:25. All right, five more minutes and then we'll roll.
FanFest tomorrow, parking lot G, 3:00. We will be there. We will have burgers. We will have hot dogs. We will have buns for your burgers and your hot dogs.
You said you have to edit. You can edit the audio tonight and just come here in the morning and edit the video real quick before 11:30.
It's also going to be on Google Drive, so I also can just do it at home. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about live streaming.
I'm trying to check out the room.
And talking to everybody. That's what I'm trying to do. Parking lot G. FanFest tomorrow. We're going to be at 3:00. Probably a little bit before 3:00, but the parking lot's open at 3:00, and we're gonna have a good time. LPG's gonna be there. Christiana Tain is gonna be there.
Brandon London's gonna be there.
Brandon London's gonna be there. Snacks is gonna be there. Danny King is gonna be there. We're gonna have a little bit of a conversation between the four of us of Christiana Tain and LPG, Justin and Bobby. What we'll do if you can't make it to FanFest, we are going to put out that conversation hopefully the next day. Time TBD, but we are going to try and put out that conversation the next day on the YouTubes and also the podcast app if you listen there.
Free burgers and hot dogs. I got 100 free stickers, so I'll give out one to, first 100 people that take one. Do we want people putting them in the stadium, or do we not want our first event to the people cleaning up being like, there's Talkin' Giants stickers?
Yeah, no, I don't think I want that. I kind of want to be
maybe
civil.
you could put them in the parking lot on poles, but don't put them in the stadium.
During games where there's 80,000 people there, why not? But for this event where we're going to have
it will seem coordinated, so don't do it.
Yeah, no, don't do it. Save it. I mean, save the stickers.
Yeah, use it.
Put it on your laptop, whatever. Yeah.
Which I only have room for one more sticker on my laptop.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Tough.
All right, let's close this thing out.
Yeah, let's close it out. We're going to the. Can I do a Steve Summers impersonation to close this out?
Yeah, you finish it off.
All right, I'm going to take off my hat because Steve Summers doesn't wear a cowboy hat, not to my knowledge. The New York Metropolitans are the greatest team on planet Earth. They are playing the Washington Nationals tonight, and they're going to win big. I'm a fan. All right, that's it.
Word.
That's it. Thank you all. See you at FanFest tomorrow.